Hey Kelly DePuccio, my name is Juanita. No, my name is Juanita. Actually, we're both Juanita. We are the same person. Just like most of us, I have a gentle side and I have a not so gentle side. But just because we're the same and just because we're different doesn't mean that I can't love who I am. I love being who I am. So do I. Anyway, Kelly D, our mutual friend Sammy B, suggested that we check out your books. We were a little surprised when we already had a few of your titles in our book bin. In this glimpse, we're going to be stepping into your book Gaston. It'll be a retell and reflection at the same time. We hope you like it. Don't you mean I hope you like it? It doesn't really matter. You, me, we. What matters is that this is a book about connections, family, love, and being who you are. Absolutely. Welcome to Gaston. Words by Kelly DePuccio. Pictures by Christian Robinson. What's up with the bulldog in the box? Mrs. Poodle admired her new puppies, Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston. Her puppies? Gaston is clearly not a poodle. Something's wrong here. Would you like to see them again? Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston. Perfectly precious, aren't they? Still, Gaston's not a poodle, but they're great, beautiful, precious. Mrs. Poodle thought so too. The puppies grew as puppies do. 3 were no bigger than teacups. The 4th, however, continued to grow and grow until he was the size of a teapot. That's what I've been telling you. He's not a tiny little poodle. He's a big bulldog. Mrs. Poodle took pride in teaching her pups how to be proper pooches. They were taught to sip, never slobber. Good. Well done. Very nice. Nice try. Gaston is trying his best. Good for him. What's easy for you might not be easy for me. Your printing is beautiful and neat. Mine is, well, let's just say I'm trying my best, okay? They were taught to yip, never yap. Yip, 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 rough. When you sing, you can hit those high notes beautifully. When I sing, it's the low notes that fit well with me. We can both still sing though. And they were taught to walk with grace, never race. Tip, toe, tippy toe, whoa. No surprise here, he's a bulldog. He's big and full of energy. He is who he is, and the poodles are who they are. It's all good. The puppies were also taught how to look pretty in pink, nibble their kibble, and ride in style. Whatever the lesson, Gaston always worked the hardest, practiced the longest, and smiled the biggest. How you talk, how you act, how you react, all of who you are is connected to your experiences and the people you know. We learn from the people around us. You see this bow in my hair? You taught me that. I got it from you. Mrs. Poodle was very pleased with all her puppies, Fifi, Fufu, Oolala, and Gaston. Spring arrived and the proud mother was eager to show off her darlings. She took them to the park for their very first stroll in public. There was much to see. Daffodils, ducklings, dogs. Oh dear! Who do we have here? Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. Looks like what I've been saying since the beginning is right. Gaston has been learning from the poodles and Antoinette has been raised by the bulldog family. This was more than a little awkward. The mothers sized up the pups. The pups sized up one another. It seems there's been a terrible mistake, Mrs. Bulldog said, breaking the silence. Oui, Mrs. Poodle agreed sadly. Whatever shall we do? Mrs. Bulldog could not come up with an answer. I guess we'll let them decide, she replied at last. Maybe the Poodles hadn't noticed that Gaston was different. Maybe the Bulldogs hadn't noticed that Antoinette wasn't like them. But now that they've all met, they are learning something. One of them was part of us and one of us had been with them. I'll still say it's all good, as long as it feels right. We can all get along, right? Gaston and Antoinette were young, but even they could see that there had been a mix-up. The two puppies began to circle around the group. Gaston walked with grace, Antoinette raced. Gaston yipped, Antoinette yapped. These two are who they are and act like they act, not because of their nature. How they have been nurtured by Mrs. Poodle and Mrs. Bulldog has a lot to do with it too. You and I may look the same, but we're different. You like to dance and draw and watch adventure movies. I like to climb and dream and watch funny movies. We both like to eat cake though. If two completely different people with different ideas and beliefs had the chance of being reborn in another part of the world, in another community with totally different experiences, they will not be the same person they were before. And when they finally came to a stop, the puppies had traded places. There, that looked right. It just didn't feel right. Gaston drifted towards the Bulldogs, who happened to be boys like him, and Antoinette followed the Poodles, who were girls like her. Everyone back with their kind of dog, but neither of them looked very happy. That evening, Antoinette tried to fit in with her new sisters, but she did not like anything proper or precious or pink. Phooey. On the other side of town, Gaston tried to fit in with his new brothers, but he did not like anything brutish or brawny or brown. Ick. Of course not. You can't just change what you like or feel just because you're around others who look like you. Antoinette and Gaston were not the only ones who were having a hard time adjusting. Yes, Miss Poodle isn't used to having a brawny puppy who doesn't like pink, and Mrs. Bulldog isn't used to having a proper puppy who doesn't like brown. The next morning, Mrs. Poodle forgot about all being proper and raced back to the park. Mrs. Bulldog was already there waiting with her burly brood. It seems we've made a terrible mistake, she nearly shouted. Oui, Miss Poodle agreed happily. To me, this makes sense. You connect with those who are similar to you. You should be able to just be yourself instead of trying to fit into a group that you're not comfortable with. We can all still get along without changing yourself. This time, Gaston and Antoinette wasted no time trading places. There, that looks right. And it felt right too. Of course it felt right. It's what they both knew. It's what they were used to. They were home again. From that day forward, the families met in the park every afternoon to play. Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette taught the poodle puppies a thing or two about being tough. Likewise, Fifi, Fufu, Ulala, and Gaston taught the bulldog puppies a thing or two about being tender. This sounds very familiar. We have had discussions about stereotypes before. There's nothing stopping us from learning new things, and at the same time, we don't have to be stuck in what's expected of us. Just like the poodles can be tough and the bulldogs can be tender, boys can be creative and sensitive, and girls can be assertive and athletic. Be who you want to be who you are, Listen to your heart and not what other people say. It is your heart that defines you. And many years later, when Gaston and Antoinette fell in love and had puppies of their own, they taught them to be whatever they wanted to be. I like that. Although we need a little guidance in life, in the end, we have to find our own path, experience our own wonder, go on our own adventures, and do what makes us happy. Well, Kelly and the rest of the Glimpse Nation, that sure was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
There's joy, there's wonder everywhere when you see the world from the eyes of a child, the eyes of a child.
This has been a Glimpse production. Thank you for watching.